Marciano and Al Bernstein ringside, and we are awaiting our co-feature of the evening, also scheduled for 10 rounds, middleweights, Robbie Sims against Tony Chiaverini. And both of those fighters expected inside the arena at any moment. For Robbie Sims, an important fight. He's coming off a draw against Murray Sutherland in the very same ring. And that fight really frustrated Robbie. That was last February. A draw over 10 rounds, and that followed a 10-round decision defeat against Clint Jackson in October. So Robbie Sims is stumbling a bit in his career, which now shows 15 wins, 2 defeats and 1 draw with 12 knockouts. Tony Chiaverini from Kansas City comes into this fight at 39-7-3 with 26 knockouts. And Tony, as they say, at 29 years of age, has been around. He has fought the big names of his time in his weight area, like Sugar Ray Leonard and Wilfred Benitez and Benny Briscoe. And for him, time is running out. Chiaverini hasn't fought since last August, when he had a draw over 10 rounds against Ben Serrano. Chiaverini figures to be major opposition against Robbie Sims. Sims has got to find out if he's going to be a world-class fighter.
And certainly Chiaverini, a journeyman, brought in here to face Sims. If Robbie Sims allows Chiaverini to fight the kind of fight Tony wants to fight, then he may well be opposition. But the jury is out, I think, on whether Chiaverini still has the skills he had when he fought the Benitezes and the Hearns.
So the crowd here in Worcester starting to buzz. Obviously, Robbie Sims has got to be the favorite because he's from nearby Brockton, Massachusetts. He is managed and trained by Goody and Pat Petronelli, who also train and manage Robbie's older brother, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, who, by the way, is not here tonight because he is in the Caribbean on a short vacation before he starts to prep for Wilfred Scipion.
And it's a well-earned vacation after that impressive victory over Simpson. And, of course, Wilfred Scipion, hey, there's somebody that wants a good look at the fights. Wilfred Scipion, with an impressive victory over Frank Fletcher, upset a few apple carts because Fletcher was set to fight Hagler, but Scipion and Hagler will be getting it on shortly.
This programming reminder from ESPN, we have the Greater Greensboro Open in store for you. PGA Golf on ESPN. From the Forest Oaks Country Club on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Live action from Greensboro here on ESPN. The Greater Greensboro Open, the tune-up for the Masters. So if you want to gauge your favorite golfers and how they'll do in the Masters, check out the PGA's Greater Greensboro Open. Tony Chiaverini and his handlers now coming into the arena here in Worcester. Tony Chiaverini caused quite a stir when he came in here and told the newspaper man, if Sugar Ray Leonard was still active, I think he would lick Hagler. Chiaverini said, I ought to know. I fought Sugar Ray. He has blinding fast hand speed to beat Hagler. All Sugar Ray would need would be a 22-foot ring. And he said Sugar Ray can score with his combinations and have room to roam. And he said, remember, Hagler is no chicken. Now, those are fighting words here in Hagler country. And I'm sure that Robbie Sims would like to change Tony's mind, but I don't think he can. Tony's a tough guy.
Well, Tony is indeed a tough guy, and what he'll be seeing in Robbie Sims, in a way, is a version of both Sugar Ray and Hagler, in the sense that Sims is a southpaw like Chiaverini, and he's got a lot of hand and foot speed. And the problem for Sims has never been that, the hand and foot speed. It has, in fact, been the punching power. Robbie's never been able to really hurt the top middleweights, and that is what I think has prevented him from moving into the top 10. That'll be a key factor tonight, because that man, Tony Chiaverini, is not easy to hurt as we see Robbie Sims make his way into this arena.
Both of these left-handed middleweights are about to go here as Sims is back in the same ring in which he had a draw with Murray Sutherland last February 4th, and he trained with a vengeance. He's got to get back into the win column, and he knows it.
Chiaverini finally in the ring. He waited till Robbie Sims got into the arena. So perhaps some gamesmanship on the part of Tony. He says, I may be an out-of-town opponent, but I've earned my spurs, and I'm not going to wait for another guy to get in the ring.
I mentioned that Chiaverini had not fought since last August, but he had 3 fights canceled. 3 times he went into training, and 3 times the fights were canceled. And he has sparred more than 50 rounds to get ready for Sims. In the center of the ring now is Nuno Cam with the official introduction.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The feature attraction of the evening here at the News Center in Worcester, Massachusetts. Promoters Top Rank, Bob Arum, and Rip Valenti, Boston. In the middleweight division, 10 rounds. In the blue corner, wearing white trunks with the blue stripes, weighing 160 pounds, from Kansas City, Missouri, and his professional record, ladies and gentlemen, 39 wins, 26 by knockouts, 7 losses with 3 draws. And in the red corner, wearing red trunks with the white stripes, weighing 157 pounds, from Brockton, Massachusetts, and his record, 15 wins, 12 by knockouts, 2 losses and a draw, Robbie Sims. Tony Chiaverini.
In close, you can fight and get tied up. And the first time I tell you to stop your punching, you step back and don't hit on the break. If you get knocked down, you must take an 8 count from me. If you're scored, you go to the corner I send you to, you stay there until you resume boxing. Watch your foul blows. Infractions of the rules can cost you points or even a fight. You both understand that. Shake hands, come out fighting at the bell.
Bill Connolly with his final instructions. You're looking at Tony Chiaverini from Kansas City, weighed in 160 pounds today. His opponent, Robbie Sims from Brockton, Massachusetts, came in at 157. They're both left-handed. Sims in the red, Chiaverini in the white. It's scheduled for 10 rounds. They'll use the 10-point must system. The referee, Connolly, will be involved in the judgment of the fight. There is no 3 knockdown rule. No saving by the bell except for the final round.
And unless something dramatic opens itself up to Sims, expect him to start a little more slowly than we're used to seeing him start. He feels he's burnt himself out in recent fights by getting off too quickly. He wants to pace himself a little bit more.
Good left hand there by Sims, as Chiaverini taking a long look here, not getting off. Just a minute gone in the fight, and we see here that Chiaverini's trying to throw lead left hand.
And he is forcing the pace of this fight. He may force Sims to be more aggressive early. Chiaverini is coming in and he's throwing big looping left hands.
Somebody asked Goody Petronelli about matching Robbie Sims against the left-hander. He said, so what? We have matched Marvin Hagler against left-handers. It doesn't make any difference.
And we saw Sims produce an excellent fight against Clint Jackson, of course, another southpaw. So I don't think it does matter, and I think 2 southpaws can make a good fight. And this first round has been pretty action-packed.
Chiaverini says he is going for a knockout. He says he cannot assume anything here on the home turf of Robbie Sims. He said he doesn't think that he would get a good judgment here in Worcester.
And he said that based largely on the fact that Murray Sutherland escaped with only a draw in a fight that many people feel he won against Sims.
We're in the final minute of round 1. A left hand by Chiaverini on the head of Sims.
And I believe that hurt Robbie Sims.
Remember, too, that the referee, Bill Connolly, has shown us earlier in the evening that he is very slow breaking up clinches.
And that will be a big benefit to Chiaverini, who likes to grapple and maul inside.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the opening round. Robbie Sims doing a good job here of handling Chiaverini's roughhouse tactics. Sims with a good left hand on the face of Chiaverini. And the right hook by Sims. Sims with a countering right hand. Best punch of the round. Left hand by Sims. Robbie Sims jabbing as we head for the bell and looking good.
ESPN is throwing a Sweet 16 party.
Action for the opening round. Robbie Sims in the red, connecting with the left hand. Tony Chiaverini in the white, trying to figure out his speed. Back live for round 2, and Chiaverini's got Sims on the rope. They move back out to the center of the ring. Sims did it all in the first round, boxing and brawling, and Goody and Pat Petronelli had this to say.
Don't go crazy and try to knock him out. Good night. Top of the game. Got him some nice shots in there. You spinned out of it, made him miss the way. You're fighting a smart fight. Right? Take away the jab. That's what you're doing. Control the fight yourself. Every time you're making a miss, you're taking a lot of energy out of him, and he's making him look bad. Right. And he's terrible. He's much quicker than he is.
Pat and Goody Petronelli between rounds talking to Robbie Sims.
In the first round, I thought a big one for Robbie Sims. I gave him the edge. Even though Chiaverini landed effectively early, Sims came on very strong at the end.
What is surprising here is how well Sims is doing on the inside against Tony Chiaverini, who's been known to really do well at close quarters.
And that was a comment we heard the Petronellis, one of them say, Goody, I believe he's terrible on the inside. Well, as this fight wears on, Chiaverini, if he gets inside, may make a fight of it, but so far Sims is able to handle him there.
And the story thus far is the hand speed of Robbie Sims, whether it's inside or outside.
And there we see the jab of Sims, a punch he often forgets to use, and it's a good one for him.
Chiaverini now tries to force the fight inside. We're halfway through round 2. A good left hand by Chiaverini. Sims came back with his own left. A left to the body by Sims and a right hook by Sims. Sims is out punching Chiaverini at least 2-1. Some body shots by Chiaverini.
Well, we're seeing both the strengths and weaknesses of Robbie Sims. He's showing us the hand speed, the combination punching. He's also showing us on occasion that lack of defense that has gotten him in trouble in many fights.
Less than 60 seconds to go in round 2. Sims with the right-left combination on the head of Chiaverini. Sims getting off first, and Chiaverini missing, throws a left elbow at Sims.
Well, Tony knows his way around the ring, and just a moment ago in this first round looked to me like he was trying to butt. So Tony knows what to do inside, both legal and illegal.
Less than 30 seconds to go in round 2. Chiaverini's been a professional fighter since 1975. To his credit, he has 39 wins, 7 defeats, 3 losses, and 26 knockouts. In his 39 wins, at one time he was ranked as high as 2nd in the world. We'll continue with more Top Rank Boxing.
This buzz for everyone who knows they've got what it takes.
Were there last year. REO Speedwagons.
This is round 3, scheduled for 10 here in Worcester, Massachusetts. That's Tony Chiaverini of Kansas City in the white trunks. Robbie Sims in the red trunks. He's from Brockton, Massachusetts. Tony Chiaverini knows tonight, he comes in here at Worcester, he's got to whack out Robbie Sims probably to win the fight or be so overwhelming and dominating that they can't take the decision away from him. I know that I am challenging here the judging here in Worcester, which was didn't look too good when Sims fought Murray Sutherland to a draw. Some ringsiders thought that fight last February was won by Sutherland 7 rounds to 3.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that Sutherland probably deserved the decision. But in this fight so far, I at least think that Sims won the first 2 rounds. I've got him ahead 20-18, and I think your assessment is basically correct about Chiaverini needing a really impressive win or possibly a knockout to actually get the decision.
Chiaverini, formerly a linebacker at Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas. He played football for what the school is known as the Fighting Ichabod. And more important than that is that Chiaverini got a Bachelor of Arts degree in education.
And he now is an executive for the Corningware company out there.
Tony is married, father of 3 children. At this point in his career, 29 years of age. I'm sure he still has aspirations, but his chances are not rated high in boxing circles. He's now what they call an opponent. But I'll tell you this about Tony. He's a game opponent. Robbie Sims will not have an easy time.
And I will tell you that Tony Chiaverini will not quit. There is no quitter in him. I'm impressed, Al, with Sims' discipline. He is doing exactly what his corner wants him to do. He's being very controlled and patient, something he has not always been in the past.
A couple of rights and a left by Sims. First he worked the body, came upstairs with the left hand. Less than 60 seconds to go in round 3. Sims sticking and moving, and even on the inside, out battling Tony Chiaverini. Left hand by Sims.
And I think if Chiaverini wants to win this fight, he must make Sims brawl inside. On the outside, Sims is eating him up.
Sims backing him up, just drilled him with a right hook. Right uppercut by Sims. Less than 30 seconds to go in the round. Chiaverini on the take here. We'll be back with round 4 if you keep it where it is.
If you've been thinking of subscribing, 800-544-1000.
Action from round 3. A right uppercut by Robbie Sims on the chin of Tony Chiaverini. Between rounds, Goody Petronelli kept saying to Robbie Sims, uppercuts work against this guy. Uppercuts work against this guy. Back for round 4, scheduled for 10. Let's listen to that conversation in Sims' corner.
Uppercuts are good on this guy. Jab and move. This guy can't handle speed dog. You found that out, didn't you? Yeah. Can't handle speed dog. You control the fight beautifully. All right?
I think Goody said it properly there, that Sims is controlling the fight. Chiaverini's trying real hard here, but Sims is executing very well, both offensively and defensively. He's hitting well from the outside and outboxing Chiaverini on the inside.
And to this point, I think he's got a pretty big margin ahead of Chiaverini. He's 30-27. I have him winning all 3 rounds. And there's that jab. In my opinion, that is the key to the reason he's fighting such a good fight. He's staying at long range and using that jab to set up all his punches.
A right hand by Sims, just a minute into the round. Backed up Chiaverini is holding on now.
Tony looks very tired, and Sims appropriately goes to the body at this point.
Another right hand by Sims.
Chiaverini is not showing us the kind of combativeness that he has in other fights, and has not looked really good.
Sims with some heavy artillery here in round 4. He is digging in, and Chiaverini's wide open. Now you see Chiaverini, with his years of experience, pushing Sims back to the ropes. But here in the center of the ring, this is where Sims is really effective. Look at him, using the jab with the left hand, and using this powerful left.
When you let Robbie Sims get off first, and when Robbie does it, he is a very, very good middleweight.
And a quick pace to this point. Less than a minute to go in round 4. Chiaverini bleeding from the bridge of his nose. He's got a slight cut on his right cheekbone. He's now backed up into his own corner.
And this is a much more disciplined Sims than we're used to seeing. Often at this point in other fights, he would get wild and throw wild looping punches and try for one-punch knockouts. In this case, he's just doing a methodical job.
Did you spot that uppercut by Sims? That's what Goody Petronelli was telling him to throw. It's the first time he threw it this round. Countering right hand by Sims as Chiaverini was moving in. Final seconds, round 4. Lots of blood coming from Chiaverini's face now. Bill Donnelly separates them, takes a good look at Chiaverini's cuts. Sims with the left hand now chasing Chiaverini across the ring. Right hand by Sims, another right hand. A barrage of punches by Robbie Sims. Chiaverini taking all of it flush.
Tony Chiaverini having all kinds of problems defensively. The hand speed of Sims is simply too much in this fight.
Let's go to the corner of Tony Chiaverini. He's got some cuts on the bridge of his nose and his right cheekbone.
Rinse that out. Rinse that out.
can't do that many shots. You gotta keep your hands up. You gotta be alert.
Tony, how you feel?
Huh? I feel great.
Hey, well, we can't pick up the audio in the corner. There it is.
Right. This one, you want to stop. Okay.
A little bit.
You're okay, Tony. Hey, keep against the ropes, Tony. You're doing great. Keep on the ropes. Keep on the ropes.
We picked up a clue here. The referee, Bill Connolly, came over and whispered into the ear of one of the handlers of Tony Chiaverini that he better be a lot more competitive in the next round, or is he going to stop? He may stop the fight. So this is round 5, scheduled for 10.
Tony Chiaverini comes out to do just that, be more aggressive. But unless he finds a way to deal with that long right jab that we just saw hit him there, he will not be able to get inside to do damage to Sims. There were long periods in the 3rd round in which, checked out the 4th round, in which Chiaverini was taking. And Chiaverini gets off with a left hand on the head of Sims. And there's still a danger for Sims in this fight, even though he's won these first 4 rounds very impressively. If he gets wild and engages in a slugging match with Chiaverini, there is still a chance Chiaverini could hurt him.
Sims trying to keep Chiaverini long range. Just a minute gone here in the 5th.
This is the best jab we've seen from Robbie Sims, I think, in all his appearances, Sal. I know he showed it against Jackson sporadically, but in this fight it's been consistent.
Chiaverini knows he didn't look good in the previous round. He also knows that Sims is from this area. So he's got an upward struggle as Sims whacks him with a right hand, a right hook. And Chiaverini is flat-footed, takes a left hand, another left, a right. And Sims moves in, and the referee, Bill Connolly, stops the fight. And the crowd, even though they are for Robbie Sims, they're booing the stoppage of the fight. And I agree, I think it was a little early.
Tony Chiaverini is not happy about this decision. Now, he took a lot of punishment over the first 4 rounds. But at that point, I think he was still defending himself reasonably well and had his hands up. It's true Sims landed a good combination, but clearly referee Bill Connolly, as he indicated to them in between rounds, had his mind made up to stop this fight if Chiaverini started to take punishment.
Interesting, though, that in the 5th round, even while Sims was dominating, Chiaverini did his best hitting.
He did land a couple of shots, and as I said, if he wanted to lure Sims into a slugging match, here we have the end of this fight, and you'll be able to judge for yourself whether you believe it was premature by the referee.
I mean, no question that Sims was outclassing Chiaverini, but Tony wasn't exactly sagging or in deep difficulty, and also did not have a severe cut. He had 2 small cuts.
You could make a stronger case, I think, for the fight being stopped in the last round.
Let's get the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee stops the bout. 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the 5th round. The winner, Robbie Sims.
Robbie Sims pounds out a 5th round TKO over Tony Chiaverini, and even his hometown fans feel it shouldn't have been stopped.